Hello everyone, welcome back to the Car World. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today we are in the Mini. As you can see, we've got it back from its MOT. So let's jump into the intro and let's discuss what happened with it. Let's go for a quick drive. So guys, we're driving in the Mini. So it obviously passed its MOT eventually. There were a couple of things that we had on the MOT. So basically the first thing, or the reason it failed, was for a drive shaft. So the near side inner drive shaft, so the bit that actually connects to the gearbox itself, that had actually, one of the splines or something had come out, so the whole drive shaft had to be replaced basically. Luckily we have someone in the industry, someone that was able to, you know, get me the parts for a lot cheaper than what they would have been. So we'll go through the cost of that obviously when we talk about the cost of the car and the profit and stuff that we're going to make off of it. So we'll go over all of that. But it needed a drive shaft and a couple of bulbs as well. The bulbs themselves were working, but so with the headlights, the aim was too high, and apparently one of the bulbs on the number plate wasn't working. So I guess I didn't think to check that. That was, you know, an oversight on my part. But again, we got them quite cheap, so I wasn't too fussed about it. There were a couple of advisories for the car. So the first one being the service brake binding. So at the moment you can't hear it because it's, you know, freshly driven. It only comes in sort of after a little bit, but basically what happens is that you hear a squeaking noise. So let this truck go past. You hear a squeaking noise from the brakes, offside rear, so back tyre there, driver side back tyre, and yeah, that's just the service brake binding. We could probably fix that, but I'll be completely honest with you, I'm not going to bother. I've spent too much time and money on this car already. So we need to start thinking about getting this out of the door now. No more money being spent on it. Let's get it cleaned, which you'll see in the next video, I'm sure, and let's get it out the door and get on to the next one. I don't want to spend too much time on this. We're not trying to restore the car. That's not the aim of the not the aim of the business. The aim of the business is to buy cars cheaply, sell them for profit. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I'm just driving through the country lanes. You've joined me on an errand that I've got to run. I've got to quickly pop to the shop to grab some milk and whatnot. So you're just joining me. I'm going the long way round, so you'll see we're driving down some of the country lanes. But the car drives fine. I've done 215 miles in the car since its MOT, and it's been, you know, absolutely perfect. Really, there's no odd noises other than the brake binding. Yeah, it's a lovely little car. I can see why people love Minis so much and why they say that they're such a fun little car to drive. It is, you know, excuse the cliche, but it is like driving a go-kart around. Where the wheels are on all four corners, you can just throw it around corners and it just skips along the road. It's fantastic. I do really like this car. You know, it's a shame to see it go, but we've done our job with it. That's the important part, is we have done our job with this car. Yeah, it's not fast by any means. I mean, especially compared to the TT, this is extremely slow. When I was driving it back, we had to drive on the motorway to get back from the MOT station, and I was overtaking a lorry in the middle lane, and I thought, fucking hell, I must be doing 70 or 80 miles an hour here. I looked down to the speedo and I was doing 50. So that gives you some idea of what this car is like speed wise. It feels like you're going a lot faster than you actually are. But I've just gone up into 5th gear now, and yeah, it runs into all the gears fine. The clutch is fine, the brakes are fine actually. So we cleaned the brakes off before the MOT because they were very rusty, and obviously we couldn't drive it, so it got shipped down to the MOT station. We got delivered down there, which I'm not going to include in the cost because I actually got a friend to do it for me for free, which was obviously really good. Remember, in this business, guys, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So we're here to make money. If I can get something done for free, I'm going to get it done for free. I'm not going to lie about it. It's just like with the part, you know, the price of parts for this car. We'll go over those obviously in another video once the car is sold, but you'll be shocked at just the sort of discount that we got on those. Again, it's luckily that one of my family members works in Euro car parts, so I can get those parts extremely cheaply. Again, it's not what you know, it's who you know, I'm afraid. So we're just coming along at about 40 miles an hour now. can see, you just chuck it around the corners. We'll chuck it around here. It is just like a little fucking go-kart. It is incredible, this little thing. It will make a fantastic first car for someone. I'm not too sure what it's like on petrol, to be honest. I've stuck about 25 quid on it, and that's done me 200 miles so far. It got me up to 3/4 of a tank, and we're just below a quarter at the moment. So it's done 216 miles, 16.7 miles as we speak, and it's just gone below a quarter of a tank. So I don't actually think that's too bad. So we have got service bits in the car. I do want to do a quick oil change on it, just because it's been sat for a year. The oil seems pretty fresh actually, so that was one of the things that was noted in the MOT. That oil that was in this car has not done more than 3,000 or 4,000 miles, and judging by when the service light, so when you turn the car on, after the service light comes on, it says it's due a service in about 13,000 miles. So that oil is pretty new, but because it's been sat for a year, I just want to change it out just for peace of mind. I got the stuff here, so I might as well do it. The auxiliary belt as well, I'm going to change that out just because it's starting to crack a little bit, and I just, you know, again, I got the parts for cheap, so the belt itself cost me a £5. So for the sake of a £5 and an hour and a half of struggle, which is what it will be, I think it's worth doing. But you can see, look, we're going around these country bends. Look at this. This car is, honestly, it's you don't need to be going fast to have fun, and that's been proven so many times. You know, there's so many videos out there of people taking old bangers down to track days and just having an absolute blast. You do not need to go fast to have fun, and this car is an epitome of that. It's brilliant. Like I say, it will make a fantastic first car for someone. So the only downfall with this car being the tax. So it is quite expensive on tax, more expensive than I thought. So the TT is around 300, I think it's like £320 a year or something like that, just over £300 a year. This is actually like £250 a year for tax, which I think is quite steep. I don't know if it's just because of the age of it or what. I don't know why it's so high, but it is bloody high. But hey, what can you do about that, eh? That's the cost that you have to factor in. The insurance on it's not that bad, definitely a lot cheaper than the TT, I can guarantee you that. But yeah, we're coming along nicely. We're in a 40 mile an hour zone, so we're just doing 40 miles an hour. We're just about to hit the signs that say 60, which is now, we can get your foot down at 50, 60. So it's not too bad. It's not slow, you know, it's not that bad. But as you can hear, there's no knocks and bangs or anything like that. Happy days. So next up for the car, next video, what you will see is a full wash. We're going to go for a full detail. We're going to clay the whole thing, just because it's been sat for a year. There will be a lot of contamination on that paintwork. So we're going to give it a full wash before it goes down or goes for bodywork repairs. So I have decided to try and get the repairs done as cheaply as possible, but to a decent enough standard that it pass for selling, simply because, you know, we could probably sell the car as is right now for a grand and get our money back and break even, but that's not what this is about. We're about making profit, so we'll spend that little bit extra just to try and resolve the dents on the quarter panel back there, and then we can, you know, sell the car for a bit more money, make a bit more money, and get onto a slightly better car. And the next car, we're not having bodywork. Hopefully it will just be a mechanical thing that we can fix up. Yeah, we don't have an overheating issue, so I checked the condenser, which is what that thing was that was damaged that you saw in the last video. I got the guys at the garage to just have it once over the condenser, and they said that looks like vandalism damage. So I'm guessing when they vandalised the front bumper, they, you know, damaged that as well, but it still works, and it's the air conditioning unit which works, so we don't need to worry too much about that. It's not detrimental to the car, it's not going to be detrimental to the value because it all works. It's not really worth, you know, a condenser's about 40-50 quid from Euro Car Parts. I think it's probably worth about 20 quid if I bought it, obviously via my family member. Is it worth the hassle? Probably not. So again, we're here to make money, not to make perfect cars. So there does have to be a limit of what we are doing to the car to make sure that we're making the most So we're just coming up onto the dual carriageway in a second, so we can get the car up to motorway speeds and you can see what it's like on the motorway. It sits at about 3,000 revs at 70 miles an hour. Not too bad, I guess. I've definitely had a lot worse. My 1.2 Fiesta used to sit at like 3,500 revs at 70 miles an hour. Ah, talking about Fiesta, there's one there. So that was my first ever car. Again, we'll have a video about my car history. I've been driving for nearly 4 years. I've gone through quite a few cars in that time. Obviously, I'm a petrol head, I'm a car person, so it's expected. There's nobody out there that is a car person that doesn't go through cars like no tomorrow. So we're on the dual carriageway. We've hit 70 miles an hour now. We're cruising on the 70, so we're sitting just above 3,000 revs at 70 miles an hour. Indicated speed on here is 70 on the dash, and as you can hear, a bit of wind noise. Obviously, it's a slow car. It's not the most aerodynamic of vehicles there is, but it drives along smoothly. The wheel's nice and straight. You know, hand-free. I don't have to fight the car or anything like that. It's not pulling or anything like that. No knots, bangs, no weird odd noises. It just cruises along. I'm extremely impressed with how this car is, considering it's been neglected for so long of its life. It's quite surprising actually, and I'm glad that we got the opportunity to, you know, buy this car and give it a little bit of TLC, because, you know, I know it's about making money, but I also love cars, and it's a shame to see cars rot, especially one like this, which is a bit of an icon. Again, you know, this is a British icon. The Mini is arguably one of the most famous cars to come out of Britain, alongside the black taxi. Yeah, I'm glad I got the opportunity to get my hands on this car and drive one. I've never driven a Mini as well. I want to drive as many cars as I can in my life. So this is one ticked off the list, and I can say I've driven the Mini. I've done 222 miles in it now, as you've seen on the round trip, and I've enjoyed it actually. So I've been driving it to work back for the last week. So the Mini went in for MOT on Saturday. It's now Easter Friday or Good Friday, or something we call it. So I've driven the car for about a week, and it's been really good. I've enjoyed it. So we'll keep driving it a little bit, just because it's been sat for so long. You know, I will keep driving the car until it goes out the door, just to make sure that, you know, it's not going to fail on anyone. I know that I'm selling a car that I have confidence in, but if I have confidence in it, then obviously the potential buyer will too. But we're driving back home now, so thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts, whether you think this is a fantastic buy or not, and whether you think we're going to make a good profit on it once we get it back from the body shop. There is a small announcement, so I will be attending Simply Audi on the 16th of April. So I'll be down there with the TT. I'll be meeting some of the other Audi YouTubers, so that'll be quite good. I'll be filming everything as well, see all the different cars. It'll be really cool to just sort of meet a few other YouTubers out there, and, you know, partake in the community, because that's what we're for. And obviously I'm a huge TT fan. TT is what is the car that I use the most. Well, second most, obviously, other than the family car. I don't know what this lady's doing. She's driving very stupidly. It's another thing around here, people don't know how to drive. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.